Hello, everyone. Coming up, a former Disney accountant claims that the Walt Disney Company has inflated their revenue for years. What a scandal. A new Midday Magic ticket is now available.
A scandalo.
Plus, we're going to recap our experience at Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party, and we're going to bore Kevin just a little bit with talk about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
And Downton Abbey.
Scandalous again. Okay, guys. Live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 1045 for the week of August 20th, 2019. And the Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. You can visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. And also by Dizboards.com. After you're done watching this show, head over to Dizboards.com and join the millions of users discussing every aspect of Disney and more. Again, head over to Dizboards.com and join the discussion today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Diz Unplugged. I am your host, Craig Williams. Today, I'm filling in for Pete Werner as I lose my flip-flop on the floor.
I say you're also like handcuffed to the chair. What is happening?
That's only for you to see.
Is this like a magic trick?
It's only if you're in the room, so it's... Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get better posture today, and I feel like this is slightly helping.
He's holding everything in.
Yeah, and that too. So, okay, well, yes, I'm filling in today for Pete Werner, who is always your host, but currently in Alaska. Well, he's not in Alaska right now. He's currently sailing up to Alaska on the Disney Wonder.
I don't have anything to say to that.
Sorry, it's just a reaction.
I was wondering how far you were going to go with the detail.
I guess today, so they got on the ship yesterday, so they would have taken off. This would have been a sea day.
They're in Stateroom 6651.
Yeah. And we know that because Pete wanted to mention that, remember, you can review your cruise stateroom on the Diz, and we'll have a link in the show notes where you're able to do that. So I'm assuming that he is currently reviewing his concierge stateroom that he has sailing up to the wild outdoors of Alaska. But yes, because of that, unfortunately, you're stuck with me this week, but it's fun. We have our gang of characters here. Most of them have already talked at this point, so why don't we get to the introducing of them? And I'm going to start with the man on my right, one of my bosses. Very important. I did not screw up the name of the company today, so that's always a good thing. And
Hi, everybody.
Is John Mayshine. And also,
Hi.
Kevin Close. Oh,
How are you?
Out of the curve there. And then, of course, Denny Sunderly.
Hi there.
And then Steve Porter.
Hello.
And then back on the controls, we have Rhino Clavin.
Hey.
Hey. And then also, wow. And then Corey Fiascanaro.
Hey, guys.
That's an interesting hey there. So, hey guys, welcome. Thank you for being here today. We've got a fun one for you. Maybe not. I don't know. But before we get started with all that fun and games, I'm going to mention a couple things, and then we'll open up the floor for housekeeping. The first thing I have to mention, of course, is that we are already making a lot of progress on our reinvigorated Power of 10 campaign for Give Kids the World, trying to get up to that $1 million raised for Give Kids the World. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to announce the number.
Yes,
that I
you
have.
are.
We are? Okay.
I can do it if you want.
Yeah, absolutely, if you would like to.
Right. The last I heard from Give Kids the World is through our... You want to do the number for the text, or you want to do the number for the auction?
Well,
Can we do both?
yeah, do both. Yeah.
Excellent. I love a scripted show. So for those of you who participated in our event this past weekend and our auction and all of that stuff, we've raised over...
Oh, hearing myself twice. That's my bad.
We have raised over $85,000 for Give Kids the World. And what's happened was Give Kids the World did something really great in that they've set up a special text for us. So if you want to give, you couldn't give during the auction, and you still want to participate and help us towards our $1 million goal, you could text DREAMS20, that's the numbers 20, DREAMS20 to 44321, and you're going to get a link that'll take you to a place where you can donate any amount of money you are comfortable with.
And that's in our name.
Right, so that goes to our Power of 10 and goes to our total. And as of yesterday, hearing from our good friend Steven at Give Kids the World, we've raised $10,000 through that number.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So
11,000 as of today.
Oh, wow. So that's
how much?
11,000.
Oh, okay.
So that's
you
96,000.
have more money, you have better numbers than I do.
People have told me that they're holding fundraisers and they've gotten their kids involved. This is a great way to put that money in. It saves you from saving a check or sending a check or trying to mail it to us. You can put the money in directly, and it just makes things easier.
That's a great point, because at one point people were having trouble with when they raise money on their own, how do they make sure it got part of our numbers? So this will ensure that they're part of our numbers. So good point, Kevin.
Yes, it's a very good point. And very, very, yes. Let's all give Kevin a round of applause, please.
That's our new thing. Whenever someone has a good idea for something, we're going to
Positive affirmations. That's
I am
all
never
part
going to
of-
get claps
good.
then.
You were tall and you were handsome.
So yeah, really great. I also want to continue on that thought with my housekeeping, which is Teresa has asked me to mention that if you purchase something or won something at the auction, please be patient. They are wrapping stuff up right now. Bless you. They have everything invoiced and boxed. Oh, she used the bad word. I can't say that. And she started contacting the folks who won, who will have items shipped to them. Please be patient. It's a lot of work, a lot of stuff for them to go through. She will contact you. I will say this, you have to have paid for your item before she can ship it to you. So if you purchase it through the hand bid auction and you haven't done so already, please make sure you go when you close out and you do the payments for your item.
Can we just talk about what a great job they all did?
Oh my gosh, such a good job.
Amazing.
Setting it up, taking it down, making sure all of you guys did. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
I really loved the part where I got to scribble on papers and rip them off and litter all over the floor. People were picking up their stuff. It was fun.
That doesn't even deserve a clap.
No claps for Craig.
I'll earn a clap today,
You will.
maybe. I know where Rhino's mind was going with that. Terrible.
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry. I just completely lost my train of thought with all
That's
that.
it for my housekeeping. If you want to move on to other people's.
Okay, well,
Steve has one.
Steve, I'll go for you.
Yeah, I have a
next,
quick one.
please.
Magic Candle Company just released a new scent, Honey Pot. So if you're curious in trying that, it's supposed to be honey scented. Check it out.
When I was
Use-
growing up, that had a different connotation.
Just say, why does everything today sound dirty to me? Is it just me?
I don't know.
That was just a different. Where I grew up, that had a different meaning.
Well, let me just say, use code DisneyInfo for 15% off. I didn't plug that. Sorry.
Yes, and Pete also wanted to make sure that everyone goes out and watches the How It's Made Magic Candle Company video to get that behind-the-scenes look as to how the candles are made. So, I know Kevin hasn't watched it yet, but he's got two things on his agenda tonight. He's going to go home and watch Charade.
With Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn.
Then after that, he's going to learn how candles are made.
There you go.
Don't you just melt wax?
Yeah, it's very interesting. The videos.
I mean, like, I could do that.
Spoiler alert.
I could do that in my kitchen.
Spoiler alert.
For people who didn't grow up near colonial Williamsburg, they have to learn how candles get made. So it's very difficult.
If that wasn't your school trip every year.
Well, we didn't go to Colonial Williamsburg, but we went and learned how candles were made.
They just called it Williamsburg then.
Now, when did it shift from colonial to regular? Or vice versa?
When I was in school.
Okay. Fantastic. Stealing that from Denny. That's what I'm rolling with today. Does anyone else have any other housekeeping? No? Then before we move on to the news, I just want everyone out there, if you could, if you didn't see, unfortunately, some tragedy struck Jolie and Corey's family this past week, and ultimately Jolie lost one of her brothers, which is just very sad, very sad. So leaving behind kids and just really hurting their family right now. So any good vibes you can send out their way, thoughts, prayers, everything would mean more than enough to them, because they're going through a lot right now, and you know, it's always nice knowing that people are thinking about you out there. So if you could do that, that would be amazing, because we're all thinking of them
unexpected.
right now. Very, yes.
I mean, this was instant. So
yeah, no,
our thoughts
just
go out to her.
absolutely awful. So If that's it, then we will now move on and head to the news.
All right, our first news story. Former Disney accountant claims company has inflated revenue for years. According to a former senior financial analyst for the Walt Disney Company, employees in the Parks and Resorts division overstated revenues by billions of dollars using weaknesses in their accounting software. Sandra Kuba, who worked in the Revenue Operations Department for 18 years, has met with officials from the Securities and Exchange Commission and filed a series of whistleblower tips, alleging that the practice has been going on for years. When approached by MarketWatch, the SEC declined to comment. However, a Disney spokeswoman called the claims utterly without merit. According to the filings, which MarketWatch reviewed, employees would boost revenue by recording sales for free guest promotions, like rounds of golf. They'd also record discounted gift cards at their face value, and even record revenue for gift cards twice, once when purchased and again when redeemed. Flaws in the software, says Kuba, made the practice difficult to trace. She alleges that in any 1 year, 2008 to 2009, for example, revenue could have been overstated by as much as $6 billion. MarketWatch points out that in 2009, the Parks and Resorts division posted revenue totaling $10.6 billion. Kuba claims she reported the practice to management back in 2016, but no one responded to her. She took the information to a higher senior executive and was then contacted by Disney Corporate Audit Group. She says there was no follow-up from the initial contact. In 2017, she finally went to the SEC with her concerns. She says then that Disney fired her a month later. Following her termination, Kuba filed a whistleblower retaliation complaint with OSHA. She says because she displayed a... Disney said that Kuba was fired because, quote, she displayed a pattern of workplace complaints against coworkers without a reasonable basis of doing so in a manner that was inappropriate, disruptive, and in bad faith. So in other words, she blew the whistle. She told the SEC. She was then fired by Disney, and Disney's now saying she was fired for other reasons. And the information is still under review.
This is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Do you think it's true? You don't have to go on the record,
I don't know.
but you do.
What's an amazing accusation is that they say they made $10.6 billion, and she's claiming $6 billion of it was overstated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge amount, especially for a company that, you know, their stock and everything is based on their revenue.
Exactly.
Isn't this something that Disney could prove pretty easily? I mean, I guess I don't know enough about like huge corporations' financial, how they report that, but it seems like, I don't know. Seems like they should just be able to show them the numbers. I don't know.
She made very specific claims about what was going on. Why can't they just go through and show what
That's
happened?
exactly what I thought. If she's wrong, all they have to do is say she was wrong. Here's the proof.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And so they're quiet. Makes me curious.
Yeah, it definitely is one of those situations where by not saying anything at all,
You look guilty.
really, yeah, you're making yourself look worse, even though it might be a situation of, you know, you're just not ready to come out and say, yeah, you've got other stuff brewing that you have to wait for.
You know how that
but-
is, Rhino, right?
I'm quiet.
No, I was just thinking. I was thinking of other correlations of not saying anything, but
Rhino's a good sport.
yeah, no, it's all good. But this is absolutely wild, and we're not going to talk about it on this. But then there was also another article that came out on Sunday that basically was an accusation against Disney trying to control parts of social media to make other people in the Disney company look bad, to lead to them getting kicked out and potentially trying to do it again. And it's
like an Aaron Sorkin Disney movie right now is about to start happening.
I feel like we all need to get some tinfoil hats on. Like, it's getting super bizarre in what's happening.
That's literally what Craig said earlier. That's really creepy that you just said that. You were not in the room when Craig said, I pulled out my tinfoil hat this weekend and I got like...
Wow.
I mean, I don't want to say
Now
that-
who's a conspiracy?
I don't want to say whether or not I actually own a tinfoil hat. It would be easy to make if I did not own one. But yeah, it's just it's kind of interesting that
For the next event, that should be a crafting with Kathy.
Awesome.
Kathy will be sitting there making forkies, and I'll just be like, okay, now you need to make sure you get all the way up into an antenna to make sure that no
The
aliens
government
can read your
can't
mind.
read your mind. Yeah.
Yes, it's very important stuff. But why do you think this is? Is there a reason why this is happening right now, or is it just?
Why?
Do you think she has any like this all coming to light? It just seems kind of random? It's August.
It's a huge publicly traded company.
Yeah.
This would be news in any company. This
Yeah.
would be news in any corporation this size. And I think, especially here in Florida, Disney's the 400-pound gorilla. Disney is sunshine and rainbows and lollipops and all of that, and they put out movies year after year after year. And I think that the hint that there might be an underbelly makes it even more interesting. This might not be news if it was like, Hewlett Packard or something like that. But
Well, it would be news in the
I
financial
apologize
markets.
to Hewlett Packard. Don't come arrest me. I'm not. You just came to my mind.
It would still be big news in the financial world.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
we wouldn't
It just-
talk
we
about
wouldn't
it.
talk about it.
Because we talk about Disney, or it wouldn't be in the zeitgeist of Disney. But I don't know. I don't know why it took so long. I mean, this happened 2009, she said, right?
Just to give another
To
example,
back up, or 2008.
we can have a fire in Central Florida, and it can be 75 miles away. However, the headline on the news is wildfire breaks out near Disney.
Near Disney.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
I
add the
remember
word-
that all the time.
You
yeah.
add the word Disney to it, and all of a sudden it becomes really much more newsworthy.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I'll have to keep an eye on this one and see how it plays out. Could be interesting. Might not be, but
I mean, because that would put them in line for huge filing charges with the SEC. I mean, this is big financial problem for them.
Which will mean ticket prices go up.
You know?
Oh, dear.
yeah, they have to do something. So they might as well increase those ticket prices.
Speaking of ticket prices, our next story. Because
Impressed with that
The room is filled
segue.
with Charles Nelson Riley.
New Walt Disney World Midday Magic Ticket offer now available. Starting August 15th, 2019, Walt Disney World guests can take advantage of a new ticket-only offer that focuses on the fall. The Midday Magic Ticket allows guests to enter a theme park at 12 noon. 2, 3, and 4-day Midday Magic tickets are available, and dates begin on or before December 15th, 2019. For example, a 2-day Midday Magic ticket is valid for admission after 12 p.m. For $88 plus tax. $88 per day plus tax, and expires 4 days after the selected start date. And then subsequently prices go up and all that information goes up after that. Guests who use the Midday Magic ticket options can utilize FastPass Plus for the afternoon and evening hours on their park days up to 30 days in advance. Park Hopper and Park Hopper Plus options can be added to the Midday Magic ticket. Don't know why you would. With the Park Hopper Plus option, admission to Disney water parks and other activities allowed after noon or 12 p.m. Why? Why?
Too many people in the morning. Too many
yeah.
early risers.
For all those people
Yep.
out there who are like, you know what, I want to go to Disney, but I don't want to go before noon, and I shouldn't have to pay for that extra money because I don't want to go to the park.
They're going to
I
charge
don't
you.
believe-
To both of them, this is a good deal then.
Really, to both of them.
I wonder if they did some sort of survey, like what time do you wake up in the morning or something, and they found that people are getting up super. I don't know. I'm just
Or
trying
maybe
to.
they're not busy for breakfast, and this is their way of pushing breakfast at a Disney resort.
Maybe I don't know.
I actually think this is geared towards locals. I think this is geared towards folks who might get off work and come to Disney and visit. I don't believe that this is geared
At
towards
noon?
travelers. Well, you know.
I think it would be cool if you could add it to a package where, if you arrived on the first day and your flight didn't get here till 2 or something like that, if you could add it to a package on the bookends or something, that would make more sense to me. But I don't know.
I kind of like it. Like, so when I would come to Disney on vacation, I'd always have that, fear of missing out. And I'd feel like I need to rope drop to park close every day to get the most out of my vacation. But if I already bought a ticket that was like, hey, you can sleep until noon, I don't know if that would bother me at all.
Or you have little ones who.
But you'd still be missing out.
Well, I wouldn't have paid for it though. I would have
But
paid,
you'd still be missing out.
but it wouldn't have affected my wallet at least.
But for families who have little ones and, they've got to have their morning routine the way that their morning routine is at home. They get up and they get breakfast and they have to watch their favorite show. It allows mom and dad to get ready for the day and then make their way to the park. Of course, it is now the hottest part of the day. So that's not the most fun time to get to the parks. But, gosh, if it saves you a little bit of money and allows you to be in the parks later in the day without dragging the next morning, that might be a nice thing.
I mean, we've got a friend who we know every time she's here, Jillian, and we know she's not waking up before. She might not even be alive before noon. That I think this would be very suited for her. For her,
For alcoholics who don't have an annual pass.
don't call her that. Okay.
Jillian's OG. She's been around a while. She can take it.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing I've ever said to Jillian.
This is what we're calling our midday hangover.
Yes, the
Admission.
hangover special.
And that's it. If you get to know us long enough, we will publicly berate you and knock you down on air.
Yeah.
So,
How much is long enough? I need to know the definition. I don't know. I think we're trying to find what Disney's logic here is, and Disney's logic is simply to collect those people they're not getting now. Mm-hmm. How am I going to get those folks? Again, I always said noon is weird for people to get off of work, but say you got this on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you took off work. You were a Florida resident.
Fiasco's still missing out.
Well, Fiasco got an annual pass. He's okay.
I could understand if they sold this as an annual pass. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that does. Well, they do the after four
The
Epcot
Epcot,
thing, which is
Even more specific.
right?
Yeah.
But that's for people who want to go and have dinner and stuff at night. At
Pay to
Epcot.
have dinner only. Dinner and illuminations, which isn't there anymore. I think if this was an annual pass and you said to yourself, listen, I'm just not an early morning riser and I can see buying a pass for the times I'm going to use it. But a specific 4-day pass, to me, that says someone's visiting. And if you're visiting here, in my opinion, you hopefully should know that this is a busy park and this is a busy thing and you're going to need all the time you can get. And I don't know what you're saving in this, but it doesn't seem worth it to me. I don't understand the value of this ticket.
Well, I mean, it's a significant savings off of the daily rates. And then when you look at, you talked about people visiting, you look at they did this Florida resident 4-day pass as well. So they know Florida residents want to come to Disney for, visiting over vacations.
Yeah. I think about it like we have all these different type of day tickets now that are almost impossible to navigate, that now they're getting down to the hourly tickets. And so it's kind of getting into that minutia. But, I've been somewhere with like Craig, and when we go somewhere and we're paying the money to go, like, let's say we're going to go to like Universal Studios in Hollywood and we buy the ticket, like we're going to be there at like 9 a.m. until it closes at like 7 p.m. because every second we're not there, we're burning that money that we've already spent, versus if you go at 2 p.m., the ticket's the same amount of money. So I think they're just trying to like lure more people in with being like, all right, well, look, there is another option if you just waited a little bit or something.
To me, it sounds like buying a theater ticket and showing up at intermission. It just seems like, okay, so the ticket was half price, but you've missed it. No. See what I missed out?
Well, so for me, it's like back home in Massachusetts when I was trying to be like, oh, how many times can I go to Disney this year? It usually is like 2 or 3 or 4, but it's all these little tiny cost savings that add up to an entirely new vacation. And we would go like, instead of going 3 times, we might go 4 that year,
However, when we did that, we did the exact same thing. How do I slice this up to get more vacations or more time on a vacation? It feels to me like you're wasting the resort. So you're paying for a resort, so why go at noon? Don't you want to get every minute out of the park that you can if you're staying at a Disney resort?
Yes, and then also sometimes no, though, at least for me, because I've had those days where, like, literally I'm up at 6 in the morning, rope dropping in the park, and then extra magic hours at night, and, like, staying till the very last minute, but I get burnt out, doing that day after day after day, you get burnt out. And a lot of days, I'm just like, I kind of just want to sleep in, wake up at 11, grab lunch at the hotel, and mosey my way over to Magic Kingdom or Epcot. And for me, like, I know I go to Disney before I moved here, I'm obviously at Disney every week now. But before I moved here, I'm like, I know I'm going to go to Disney every year. Like, if I don't do everything, that's okay. I'll be back in however many months.
And what you just described, too, is the problem with the dining plan, right? if people don't get every dollar's worth out of the dining plan, they
Yeah.
feel like they've left money on the table.
Yep.
So
I think Rhino's got the best idea of anyone. Let's
The
start
alcohol.
charging by an hourly
Oh,
basis. And when your hour's up, you got a guy with a mop come and just push you out of there. And
oh no, your magic band jolts you, shocks you.
Gives you the warning.
just like if you're wearing a pet collar, and it's like
Right,
until
exactly.
you leave the premises to get the vault stuff, and you
Have
can't
any
take it
of,
off.
I just read something online this morning. Have any of you heard that if you're staying at a DVC Grand Villa, you can purchase extra fast passes?
Hot off the presses.
I read that online.
Well, there you
And we know
go.
everything online is true.
I'm just asking if
Absolutely.
anybody else heard it.
I don't plan on ever staying in a DVC Grand Villa, but
Cool.
that's just me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
know.
wasn't what I asked.
No clap? No clap for that one?
No,
go.
you didn't answer the question. You made up a whole new topic.
It's a clap and a half.
Craig is cheap.
I'm not surprised by that. We've had this conversation for how long? That Disney is now going to start doing fast passes based on how much you're willing to spend. You know, so if you're staying concierge, you get more fast passes. If you stay at a higher end hotel, it doesn't surprise me.
I like the tweet from Carly, the friend from Travel and Leisure, that you and
Carly Rae Jepsen. Yeah.
No,
go ahead.
But she basically brought up the point of, like, if you're not a Disney expert anymore, how confusing it is that there's extra magic hours, extra magic hours, midday magic, early morning magic, and Disney after hours.
This is why you
Yeah.
need a Disney travel agent,
There you go.
someone who specializes in Disney travel to help you, because it's very, very complicated.
Yeah.
If only we knew a place.
Really.
And you also have cruising, where your Disney travel agent can set you up with a very easy going cruise.
That's right.
But it's your life. You choose how you want to live it. Okay.
No clap for that either.
Maybe next one. Next
All
one.
right,
I
our
feel good
third-
about this one.
Our third and final, good, I'm glad you feel good about it. Our third and final news story. 2 global marketplaces, music acts, and Radio Disney artists have been added to the Food and Wine Festival. Walt Disney World has announced that 2 brand new marketplaces have been added to the global marketplace lineup for the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival this year. The Doughnut Box and Cool Wash will both make their debut on October 1st, after the festival officially begins on August 29th. Disney chefs have been working on a new spin on donuts, including a black and white coffee cocktail that's embellished with a yeast donut sprinkled with chocolate espresso bean crumbles. Also featured will be a sweet corn fritter with Fresno and red pepper jelly, plus strawberry dusted yeast donut holes. Additionally, a strawberry smoothie made with Blue Diamond Breeze almond milk and an exclusive festival beer called the Boston Cream Donut Ale
Yeast.
from Central 28 Beer Company, located in DeBary, Florida, will be on the menu.
Say yeast again.
Yeast. Yeast.
Beauty in the yeast.
Okay, so that's it for the donuts. Before I go into Cool Wash, does anyone want to comment about the donuts?
What's that Boston cream thing you said? Is that a
That's a
drink?
beer.
Yeah, that sounds
a beer
interesting to
called
me.
Boston Cream Donut Ale and a side of insulin.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Central 28's hit or miss, so it
Craig,
could be good, could be
you
bad.
had this cocktail and donut at the preview the other night,
I
didn't
did
you?
have the cocktail, the black and white coffee cocktail with the donut on top. The drink wasn't it wasn't what I expected. It wasn't actually that bad. I just wasn't.
Rousing endorsement.
Wasn't that bad?
Well, I mean, it was an
Didn't suck.
invited media event, so I will try it. I will try it when we actually go for Food and Wine after it's open, and I'll try it again. I did enjoy the donut on top, but I am a man who enjoys a nice, more of a donut on this level. Like, I don't like the.
He likes a yeast.
The yeast
Well,
donut?
I mean, I enjoy cake donuts most. The donut on top of this was definitely more on that level. It wasn't like the Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm not a fan of Krispy Kreme. So, I'm sorry.
He likes his junkies.
No further claps
No,
ever.
no, because even then, we're not going to get into my donut preferences.
We are into it.
I like a denser donut.
Listen to
That's
our donut
Yeah.
podcast
like an
coming
apple
soon.
cider type of
Exactly.
cider.
Yeah, it's like going up to upstate New York or anywhere in the mountains and having apple cider donuts.
Donut
and just
aficionado here.
Yum.
getting into fall, y'all, and all of that. So,
That was a lot.
Pumpkin spice
Hashtag.
latte.
I mean, no, I don't.
He's not a PSL girl.
No, I like pumpkin coffee. I don't need all the syrup that goes in there. So
All right, let's move on to the second part of this craziness that has ensued. Cool Wash will offer guests a create-your-own frozen beverage bar with slushy flavors such as blue raspberry and orange cream, among others. There will also be mix-ins like Swedish fish, jelly drops. What do you say? How do you say this?
Boba.
Boba pearls and pop rocks.
It sounds like a choking hazard.
It sounds like a kindergartner made this menu.
Yeah.
well, now see what I want here is for the cast members to put this stuff in. Otherwise I foresee like little monsters just grabbing everything and throwing them all over
Yeah, but
places.
Swedish fish are gummy. So if you
Yeah.
drop them in a frozen drink,
Oh, it hardens up.
you're going to have hard little Swedish
Can't
fish.
get that up a straw, that's for sure.
Nice stiff fish.
Oh, that's like when you go to like a Cold Stone or a Menchie's or any place, and someone throws in the gummies, and it's like,
See, I
it's
put
the
gummies.
grinding.
How is it?
Oh, was that?
That gets a clap.
How does that get a clap? I don't understand. In additional food and wine festival news, Joey Fatone and friends
And friends.
friends.
Oh, none of them are going to be who you think they are.
There, one will. One will.
featuring Chris Kirkpatrick
No. Of all the ones you were going to say, that was not my
and
expected.
Ryan Cabrera
Oh.
have been added to the Eat to the Beat concert lineup for November 12th through the 14th. Additionally, alternative rock band Smash Mouth will be on stage September 16th through the 17th. And that is it. They have completed their schedule of artists for that. Additional Radio Disney artist appearances have also been announced by Disney Du Jour Dance Party. I'm not even going to pretend I know who any of these people are, so we're going to pass by that. So yeah, Joey Fatone is going to bring his friend.
Yeah,
One
that's
friend he has in the
the
world.
big one. Is that Joey Fatone is now fully embracing a relationship with Disney.
The ink.
What do you mean,
They're not the NSYNC.
Fully embracing. It's been years in the making, and they're finally there.
So
Fantastic.
is he going to like sing songs you know, or is this like a new act that he has and new things?
I didn't know he was doing anything but making hot dogs these days. I didn't know he even sang.
I just know he's not
Again,
at Florida
so-
Mall anymore.
Well,
making
he
hot dogs,
wasn't he
so.
one of the judges, or didn't they think he was going to be on that Fox show where you like the singers all dressed up
Oh, the
and
masked
they?
singer.
Yeah, was he
was
one
on
of
the
them?
He was on it.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen
Whoops.
season
Oh
one.
dear.
So
thought he
is
was on
Joey
Smash
Fatone
Mouth.
like at Fatone? I'm sorry, I didn't say Fatone. Joey Fatone, is he like at Casey's making hot dogs?
No,
What is that? I don't understand.
He's
the fat one.
Yeah, fat ones.
He's the fat
He
one.
had his own place.
Oh, I thought he was like.
He drives into Craig's neighborhood frequently.
He works at Hot Dog on a Stick.
I mean, he makes a good hot dog. The man knows his hot dogs.
Joey Fatone I don't know if he still lives here, but we used to
he
see him
does. Yep.
everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I
he was
see him at a bar
everywhere.
every
We
now
sat
and then.
next to him at a restaurant one night. He was having his sister's birthday party. He was everywhere.
He's a very nice guy too.
He is, he's very
if you
nice.
go up and say hello to him, he's very, very friendly. Because I was so embarrassed, but I did it.
He likes to buy arugula at 2J's too. Just saying.
I mean, arugula is perfect on sandwiches. It's good adding into salads.
No, we're talking
No,
about
we're talking about the
different
pastry.
Oh,
things. Not arugula.
I thought arugula too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Does this clap?
When he first started thinking about it, I thought, oh, okay. Do you know what arugula are?
arugula.
Not arugula, just arugula. They're little rolled pastries. Sometimes they're cinnamon, sometimes they're raspberry, sometimes they're chocolate.
Not good in salads.
I'm more of a cake donut person myself. So,
In your salads?
yeah.
Craig likes a nice, healthy salad.
Yeah, it's a
Top
first-
it off with your cake.
Cake
Yeah.
donut.
Cake
holes.
donut croutons.
First layer,
Delicious.
arugula. Second layer, meat.
Arugula.
Yes.
Third layer, jam.
Good.
So,
What's that called? That's a trifle.
It's cooking with Craig.
who doesn't have salad trifles? Like, I thought it was just the norm. But
All right, that'll do it for the news.
that will do it for the news. And before we move on to rapid fire, I just want to take a quick second because at least half of the room now has been in Galaxy's Edge here in Walt Disney World. Denny's the only person, I believe, who didn't also see it in California. So it was your first time
Yeah,
in.
it was
What
my
did
first time.
What'd you think? What'd you
Holy
think?
cow. I love it.
Yeah?
Just walking into it, it is completely immersive. It was really cool. I tried to avoid as many. I know you guys made amazing videos, and thank you for doing that, but I tried to avoid.
How'd you get hired?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did right before my first day. I watched some of the videos to kind of catch up, but not all of them because I really wanted to be surprised by what I walked into. And it was amazing. The rock work and everything is so very immersive. And
You did some of the experiences too, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I've been to Oga's when DJ Rex was working. I saw that he was not working the other day.
He was out with the Yeti.
So yeah, we got to stand right in front of him. That's where our little table was.
Go ahead, just make Rhino more mad.
It was. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
It was amazing. But it got to do Smuggler's Run, and so I've done all but one of the. I haven't been the right pilot yet, but that's okay. And also got to eat at Docking Bay 7, and haven't had a Ronto roaster yet, but my husband said they're great. So, and I like the sour sarlacc. So that's a good drink. It's amazing. I love. So with the prequels, everything is so CGI driven that it bugs me.
Yeah.
And so, as someone who loves the original trilogy, I love the practical effects. I love that those pieces and parts are there, and they're all right here surrounding me in Galaxy's Edge. Everything has laser blasts on it and is time worn, and it's really exciting. So.
It is. So for the other clowns in this room who saw it in California, which one are you leaning towards right now that you prefer? Or because they are nearly identical.
Yeah.
Just little changes here and there in terms of cosmetic styles, but
My favorite description of it is it's a photo op with upcharges.
that's I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I've been saying it from the first time we went in that it's great, but you have to spend a lot of money to have your full Star Wars story.
And Downton Abbey comes out September 20th. Just saying.
So
Mark
there
your
you go.
calendars. So
Yeah, I think they're nearly identical. There was one thing that I had noticed in our Hollywood Studios version that I didn't like, but it's so small that I'm not going to cry about it. But it was if you're in the queue for Smuggler's Run and you look out, you can see Slinky Dog, and it kind of ruins the immersion a little bit. Where in Galaxy's Edge, I hadn't noticed anything where I could see into Disneyland.
Yeah,
You
Disneyland's
You
in
could.
Smuggler's Run in the same lookout, you could see.
What,
Yeah, you could
what
see
do you
Big
see?
Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
All right, then I take it back.
Okay.
Then I think that I don't really have a preference between the two.
Okay.
For me, like we're saying, they're the same land, but I will put Disneyland a small step above Disney World just because of the entranceway in. I feel like your walk in Disneyland felt more immersive than your walk in
Yes.
World.
The problem I had with Disneyland, though, was it depended on where you went in.
Yeah.
Like, if you went in behind, I think it was behind Big Thunder, or however you went into it, it seemed like it was, or Splash Mountain, it seemed like it was a little bit more abrupt.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, here I am. I'm all of a sudden in there. But
Definitely.
the other way is much more a gradual easing into the land.
That is the main issue with the baseline Tap House Muppet Vision entrance, because it really is like you can stand in front of the tunnel to lead you there, and you can, if you're in the right position, you can see right into it. So it really loses that. I feel like Toy Story entrance will probably be a little bit better, but that is definitely where Disneyland succeeds more, is that especially if you use that Critter Country entrance and you have to take that long walk all the way in, you do feel like you've entered a complete different place by the time that you got there. I will say that I do enjoy that about Disneyland more. Walt Disney World, though, having the alcoholic blue milk, not to sound like an alcoholic or anything, but we tried both the green and blue milk now with alcohol in it, and while I was not a fan of either of them regularly, I did not like the textures, I did not like the taste. The blue milk with the rum was it was great. It was creamy, it was just slightly a hint of fruit, but it still wasn't how I want blue milk to be, but I would get it again. And I could not say that about the regular version of it. Green milk with tequila was gross. It was bad.
Back to the entrances for a quick second. While I do agree that is a good point about California's having that long stretch, I was happy to see that in like the Grand Park, Grand Avenue area, that I had envisioned that entrance was going to go right in, and I like that it makes that little bit of a turn, so that when you're looking down the street, like, yeah, you can kind of see into Galaxy's Edge a little bit, but it's not just like a tunnel directly in. I think that would have made it I don't know. That's just a small little detail that I liked that they put that little turn in there.
Jogging it.
Yeah.
Did you guys have the chance to, in Disneyland, can you use on the Play Disney Parks app, you can use it as your data pad?
You can use it,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, good.
I tried it for like a second. And I got
They were
bored with it.
testing that yesterday, and I had so much fun going around and hacking the different things that are there and translating and earning badges and things.
My
Are the lands,
phone-
I apologize.
No, no,
Are the
it's fine.
lands laid out exactly the same?
No.
Nearly.
Yeah. So I was gonna say.
What's the right
Somewhat.
answer?
Well, yeah, the X-wing is in a different place in our land than it is out there, and there's like this wall that's up next to. I don't remember what the other ship is called. It's not the X-wing, the smaller one.
TIE fighter?
No, there's three.
A-wing?
The A-wing?
The A-wing. The A-wing.
sorry.
Okay, so it's like subtle. I do agree with Corey. I do lean more towards the Disneyland one because ours is just like the subtle differences. Some of it makes it seem a little more claustrophobic to me. But the entrance, the transition when you go into that space, when you go in the Critter Country area, what I love is you go under the Disneyland Railroad, so you have the railroad. Like, I don't just feel like I'm going to another place. I feel like I'm going to another time because you have that transition. And yeah, I do think ours will be a little better when we get the Toy Story side of it, but there is that nice, like, it pulls you away. But I like how ours also, the paint job is different, so it's very clear to me that is, that's petrified wood. That's supposed to be the Black Spire, like the tree that this is all kind of built around. And ours outside of Dock Undar, I don't remember it there, but there's a really big black, I don't know if it's the actual Black Spire, but it's like cracked open and they've planted a tree to go up through the middle of it. And I don't specifically remember that there, but it's very clear, like,
Yes.
I saw that here. It was there too, right?
I believe it was,
Well, 'cause
but
they
it is more visible.
Yeah, because
here in World.
they had another object that was out there that was in front of it, but it's just like that paint job is ours is a lot. It seems a little more saturated, and that's probably to compensate for things here in the sun get bleached out really quickly. But I don't know. I think they're both great, and I think the differences are so small that I think they're really just people like us that are going to see them are like really really big fans who are just really curious about layouts of things, but. I will say when Rise of the Resistance opens, where our entrance on that Grand Avenue is, it's like the ride entrance is going to be right here on the left. And so in California, you've got that really long area for whatever get backed up. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But for us, it could make entering that land right there a pain.
However, do you know how big the queue is going to be? Because in Disneyland, the queue is going to be huge.
Right, but
Looks to be
ours
big.
didn't look that big. It doesn't look like we have in Disneyland you could see where that back and forth was. Remember, and
Right.
then ours I was like, I see the entrance thing, the structure that's
turret.
over it. But that was put in like Craig you said that wasn't even there when you looked for media, right? When you got to peek in.
that was.
I guess that was a while ago.
That was
but-
way back when I don't even remember the exact month with it. It came along well because when I got that first preview with Corey and Fiasco also got to go in that day, like there was no trees really in there. It was all barren and just empty. So they did add a lot very quickly, but I'm surprised because you can see so much of the Rise of the Resistance queue as soon as you walk in ours. With Disneyland, it felt a little bit more hidden, a little bit more tucked away. In ours, it's like there's
Right
lots
there.
of fans, and it's right
Yeah.
there, and it doesn't look that massive. And it
Yeah.
looks also very uncovered for an environment that loves to not
Maybe
cooperate.
they're not done yet. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I hope.
I think there's something to be said too about I get that the other one is in Disneyland, and so they really contain that alcohol, the cantina experience to the cantina. But I do appreciate that here. Craig was the one who pointed out to me that there is an exclusive beer that you can get only at Ronto Roasters, and then one of the other beers that you could get in the cantina you can get at Docking Bay 7. But then some of the other we have versions of things that they don't have there. So we have like the moof juice that's in Docking Bay 7 that's alcoholic, and so it with like the milk, it did improve some things, and it makes it like a bit of a different experience. And not even if you're somebody who's like a big drinker or you're just a little I just feel like it makes it feel a little more intertwined with itself. Whereas there, it's very specific, like separating the experiences very differently. But I like them both. I don't know.
Does any? Oh,
Sorry, I was going to say, unless it's super important, I'm going to wrap this up because it does open next week, and we're obviously going to be talking more about this for a long time coming.
That's fair then. Yeah.
Okay, then Kevin, when does Downton Abbey come out again?
September 20th.
Okay.
There are people already lining up in costume.
Thank you.
You should see how they painted Maggie Smith. Very saturated.
Because she's going to bleach in the sun.
Much different than when the show.
Thank you. I had to bring you back in somehow, so I feel like I accomplished that.
I checked my email.
Okay, let's go on to rapid fire and start with John, please.
All right, my rapid fire is Disney Cruise Line adds new accessible port adventures. This is actually really cool.
I think this is awesome.
Really good news. Cruisers with limited mobility can now take part in accessible port adventures on many of the Disney Cruise Line ports. This is great for if you're traveling with seniors who might not be able to walk far, people with mobility devices such as wheelchairs and scooters. And basically what they have is, I'm not going to read them all. There's a long list of, in each port, what the different adventures are. The only thing I do want to point out here is if they do not sell out, if they do not get a minimum number of people, then they could cancel them. However, they could still be purchased as private tours. And a lot of them are, go see such and such by car, or we're going to take you to parts of a beach that's more accessible than other places that are a little more rocky and hard to get to. So I think this is awesome. Disney Cruise Line deserves.
It's quite a list, though.
It is.
It looks to me like there's many different ports. So it seems like they've tried to pick something in most of the European ports.
Accessible Florence with a visit to Michelangelo's David. That's worth it right there.
Exactly.
Right. So Disney Cruise Line
Especially if you don't have to get in that crowd.
Yeah, tremendous kudos for doing this. So good on them.
Yep, it's very awesome news. So, and thank you for sharing, John. Kevin?
Adventures by Disney is having a promotion for their river cruises for 2020. If you want to go, you can save $400 per person, and I'm going to go through the dates really quick. The Danube Cruise, June 20th and 27th, July 4th and 14th. This is next year. On the Rhine, May 17th, July 12th, and July 26th. The Rhine Food and Wine Cruise. I have folks who did this last year, and they couldn't rave enough about it. September 6th and 20th and October 4th. The Rhone is May 14th, 28th, June 11th, July 9th, September 17th, October 1st. And the Seine, this is the one out of Paris. June 11th, July 2nd and 16th, August 6th, September 10th, and October 8th. This special rate and availability are limited. Adventures by Disney often sells out of their promotions, and this special offer excludes suites and category E and AP staterooms. They're the least expensive on the ship. You're not going to get $400 back or $400 off on the least expensive stateroom. This is not combinable with any other offer. I know they're offering a bounce back offer right now. If you book within 45 days of the return of your last adventure, you get $250 off per person. This is not combinable with this. The good news is, it is combinable with the Dreams Unlimited Travel booking discount offer. This is also available on new bookings only. This is typical Disney. I cannot apply this to an existing booking. And chances are, if you wanted to cancel and get this discount, you would lose more than you would gain. Disney's really good about making sure that that doesn't happen. So if you're looking to do a river cruise next year, and I think you should be, you can get up to $400 off per person $400 per person based on the dates you pick. Kevin at Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you're interested, I'll help you pick the right one.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. Benny.
Well, hey, so real quick, if you're going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, there are some really cool PhotoPass opportunities that are happening right now, and you don't want to miss out.
In August.
Sure. Yes, in August. Well, it is Halloween time all of a sudden. But make sure you wear your magic band on attractions, because on attractions like Haunted Mansion, they're going to go ahead and give you a special magic shot when you're there, so that you can check it on your PhotoPass on your My Disney experience when you're done. Also, the brand new PhotoPass studio inside of Sir Mickey's has some really cool props that you can just pop in there at any time. You don't need a reservation, so pop in during the party, take pictures with these really cool props, and PhotoPass people around the park have neat little props and frames and things like that you can hold for your special pics of the
Do we
night.
know what the special thing is on Haunted Mansion?
It's you with the ghosts on top, so it's kind of you looking spooked out,
usually.
exactly, confused.
'Cause-
And then there's two ghosts underneath, and then there's one on top of your doom
Sounds
buggy.
like fun.
And it's the magic shot that they added. I don't remember, a couple months ago, but they added it so right when you're first going in, you're going past the portraits where the lightning hits and flashes. So like you see an extra bright flash at one of those, and that's when they're taking your photo. And it caught us off guard the first time, and so we were just like.
So your eyes are all dilated for the rest of the dark
Just-
ride.
yeah, and it's like, well, it's like because you don't realize it. You're used to just the easy flash, and then it's like it seems a little brighter. But yeah, no, it's cool stuff. So I'm gonna get my photo taken at Disney. That's what I'm gonna do.
Cool.
Thanks, Denny.
Yep.
Steve.
Dorothy, no.
Denny's new. She gets one.
Oh, Danny.
Thank
gets it.
you,
Danny.
thank you so
I thought we were
much.
clapping for his.
No. Poor Craig.
Okay, so Walt Disney Imagineers have revealed a sneak peek at the Disney Skyliner cast member costumes. They look pretty bland and boring. I don't know. They don't look.
They
that
look like the Skyliner.
Yeah,
Like-
they're supposed to mirror the lines on the side of the Skyliner.
However,
and the colors.
they each have a parachute on the back.
Just in case.
A ladder that drops down the back of the
A rope ladder.
Is that man holding a burrito? I can't tell from here.
Stop it.
No.
it's a swatch.
But yeah, I mean, they're blue and orange costumes. They're basically, I'm trying to explain this for the people that are listening. They have a stripe down the middle and like a white bib in the front.
You know what I
Kinda weird.
appreciate about the newer Disney costumes now? If you look in this photo, like a lot. Oh my gosh!
You
If
really like
look-
Kevin today.
I know. If you look at a lot of the newer costumes are this untucked thing now, which was always my biggest complaint when I worked there. Is that like they'd be like, oh, well, this is a heat resistant. I'm like, okay, it's tucked in, and I feel
Right.
like I'm dying right now, and so. It makes a world of difference, and also they're all like zip oriented now too. You notice that?
That was the hard part at Potter, is that we could not wear our vests outside, but we had to tuck our shirts in.
Yeah.
Or you could keep your shirt untucked, but you had to wear your nice fake wool vest. So
I think they all look just as nice untucked as they would tucked in. So it's nice design.
one untucked and one tucked.
Yeah, just one half in.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
you'll see these costumes when it opens on September 29th.
And you'll see
you.
Steve
9
going
days
gross.
after Downton Abbey.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, Stephen.
Mouth.
Rhino?
Okay, mine is about Disney Plus, which we all know is launching in November, but we've got a couple of new things we've learned, which are the global launch dates and a fun discount that you're going to get if you are a D23 member or visiting the D23 Expo. So the other countries who are going to get Disney Plus, it's going to launch in Canada on November 12th for $8.99. I'm not going to go over the prices. November 12th in Canada, November 12th in the Netherlands, November 19th in Australia, and November 19th in New Zealand. So the price in the United States is going to be $6.99 per month or $69.99 per year. However, a $12.99 bundle was announced recently. That's Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and ad-supported Hulu, not just Hulu. So if you already get the ad-free Hulu, like I choose to pay for, you don't get this bundle discount. But at this week's D23 Expo, attendees will be the first to be able to subscribe to Disney Plus, and there's going to be a special Founders Circle offer, which includes $23 off the annual $69.99 rate, but it comes with a 3-year commitment. And you get an exclusive Founders Circle pin. If you're a D23 member not attending the expo, you'll be able to take advantage of that offer online now through, or not, maybe not now, but online through September 2nd. And yeah, Disney Plus is going to be available on Apple devices, Google devices, Xbox One, Sony, PlayStation TV, and Roku devices. But I think it's not a bad deal. I think for under $50 a year for 3 years, you've got to think your Netflix is at least $12.99 a month. That's $100.
Are you going to get Disney Plus?
Yeah, I think I'm going to sign up for it when I'm out there because I'm not a D23 member. But if I'm at the expo and I get this discount, I'm like, well, I might as well. Of course, I'm sure I'll do it, and then there'll be some other bundle you could have gotten it for or something. But it's going to have that Jeff Goldblum National Geographic show right at the start. I feel like I need to watch that.
I want it for the Imagineering show.
I want it. for like all those Marvel shows and then the Star Wars show. And if that
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi show gets announced at D23 and Ewan McGregor walks out in front of me, just bury me there.
Yeah.
So
Restraining order.
yeah,
How about you
it's
guys?
gonna
Are you
happen.
Get Disney? Oh, Steve said he's going to get it.
Yeah, I'm
What about
definitely
you,
gonna
Craig?
get it.
Yeah.
Well, I still have cable, and I have Spectrum. I'm not sure. Because they announced that there's this partnership with Charter Spectrum somehow, and the wording makes it seem like either could be included as part of that, or it might just be that they have this relationship together now. So regardless, I'm getting it. If I get to pay less or not at
Or
all,
it's
and
already
I just
included in your cable service.
exactly,
Yeah.
if it's already included with my cable service, that's going to be even better. Not that I wasn't going to spend the money for it, but I'll take it.
Are we getting it?
Yes.
There you go.
I
Why
feel
not?
like
We have
Because
everything,
everything
else.
else on the planet. Why would we
Must
have
watch
that?
Pollyanna every night.
and for that price though, if you are a D23 member, I think about it where I'm like, okay, $50, I can choose like 10 activities I spend $5 on throughout the year and be like, okay, I don't need this today, and just move on with life. It's a pretty good deal, I feel like, for what the content you're gonna get.
And for me, I was going to get Disney Plus no matter what already, but the fact that they're saying you're going to get a small discount and we're going to give you a pin, sign
I
me
knew
up.
you were in as soon as we
You would
heard
have bought
pen.
Yeah,
That was
sign me
it.
up.
That was it.
$69 or
What
whatever
about you,
it
Denny?
is.
You going to get it?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm excited about ESPN Plus. Peyton Manning's got a new show on ESPN Plus, and I can't wait to be able to watch that.
I'm excited
I
about
know.
too.
Are you?
We should look and see if we can get a group rate if we're all going to buy it.
Yeah, right.
Listen, we
Seriously.
got 10 people will sign up for it.
Right.
That's 10 whole people.
If
Wild.
if we sign up and there's one pin, I'm fighting for it.
Yeah. Oh no.
I think seniority rules.
Something does. Okay, Rhino, thank you. Fiasco.
Oh, I got a little short and sweet one for you. I picked this one because my mom texted me when it was announced and says that she wanted one. So this one's for you, Mom. 4 new special edition Igloos. Those are coolers to celebrate Mickey and Minnie. So Igloo Coolers announced today that in partnership with Disney, they have released 4 special edition coolers that celebrate Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. The coolers come in both 7 and 4 quart sizes, feature the classic Igloo Playmate swivel tent top. That's a tongue twister there, but I made it through it. And are available for purchase at Igloo's website.
It's just such a weird collaboration. Although, where's the by and large one? Right? Is B&L? Isn't that Wally?
Buy 'em.
Yeah.
That's well.
Because he uses the igloo in that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe in the next round of Disney X Igloo. Not in this one, though. Okay. Thank you, Fiasco. Okay, that's it for Rapid Fire. And then just real quickly here at the end, because we got things to do and places to be and things to do again. Again, Kevin Charade tonight, followed by how to make candles. So very
I'm
important.
not sure which is first.
It's a tough one. So you could probably watch the candle one while you're driving home. Save
Make
time.
candles while I'm watching charade.
There you go. But before, we obviously went to the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party this past Friday, and we posted a great review that, it just kind of shows our experience there in fragments and bits, and I highly recommend going out to watch that. At the end, I have a meltdown about Hocus Pocus, and
You have a meltdown about Dr. Facilier.
I do have a meltdown about Dr. Facilier too. I have a couple meltdowns that I go over. So I'm not going to go over like our overall thoughts about the party. I'm going to stick just like for those of us who went there, which was some of us here, and I'm going to just ask the question about the new additions to the party this year, specifically the additions to the parade, the fireworks. What do we think? Is it enough if you've gone in the past before and you're saying I'm gonna be on the fence about coming back, or the new additions enough to get you interested in it again?
Oh, I'll say yes right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the fact that it's a brand new fireworks show with the projections on it really was awesome. The rest of the additions are nice, but the fireworks show was what kind of brings me into it. Like the parade for me, it wasn't. There was the addition of the bride and the two floats, right? Or two.
Tomorrowland.
Well, we had
The
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland.
You had the Buzz Lightyear with the Buzz Dancers. Then you had
And the Incredibles.
Mr.
right?
Incredible, followed by Edna and the Incredible Dancers, and then also
I did
Mrs.
really
Incredible.
like Edna dancing. You can kind of see her in the float if you're watching this here. But I thought like that, and the overlays to the rides are nice. They're not the thing that bring me into the party. It's the big spectacle of the fireworks. But I say in the video that my mom is coming and she's never been to one of these parties, and I am excited to have her experience this party, I think. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Anyone
Yep.
else?
I mean, I thought the projections were great on the castle. I thought this year's party in general was better than the last couple of years because of it. But I don't think it's the end-all be-all for Disney firework projection shows.
Yeah, it was good. I liked the thought that they put into it. I loved how they, there are a couple times in the fireworks show where they just unload them all. And I love those moments.
Yeah.
And the projections were so clear and crisp. That was great. I don't know that the story was I said it in the video, was as cohesive as like HalloWishes was, but anytime that they do a new something like this, I think you go and you see it, and it is really super cool.
I also think it was a shame the way they kind of had Jack be the narrator as a puppet, but he was so small that unless you were in that front half of the hub, you weren't really going to experience him anyways. I wish they maybe had other characters from the film sprinkled throughout, like Main Street. And
I wish he had walked at least back and forth on the stage, because if you were in the center street anywhere further back, the Walt the partner statue kind of blocked, like you could only see the corner. And I feel like it's a really impressive element of the show. So it's a shame not to have been able to really experience that.
Yeah, I know it'd be pretty much impossible to do, but even if they could do like projections like Disneyland has up and down our main street, and so like if you're standing in front of the castle, you get Jack and you can see the puppet, but then have maybe a separate projection kind of talking and showing it off. I mean, that
would be cool.
I don't foresee that ever happening, but it would be a way to kind of alleviate that issue. But I watched my video back of the fireworks a couple times. I still love the new fireworks. I can't wait to see them again in person, but I will say, like, I don't think it dawned on me that much that, like, the story is not cohesive at all. And I still, even though HalloWishes had a somewhat cohesive story, even that was just ring a doorbell and the next weirdo pops up and, who could it be?
Well, they were trick-or-treating, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But it's like neither were cohesive.
my life.
This one is definitely probably even less cohesive, but projection's pretty.
But you do have to decide what your priority is for the show. Do you want to see Jack? Then you got to get up closer. Yeah. If you're just there for the big spectacle, then. And
that's how I'm going to watch the next time around. I want to get right up to see, because obviously with you, when you're right up to the castle, you're going to lose the sight of the fireworks. But at the same time, too, having the slight perimeter. It's no longer the full big perimeter because of construction and other stuff, but having the slate, at least you might get a little bit on the sides too. But
so one of the things that people say over and over again is it's not worth going year after year to the Halloween party. Is it worth going to this one if you went to the one last year?
I personally think yes.
Okay,
I think so too.
So
yeah.
I'm in the category of an every other year type of. When I moved here, it seemed like that's the pattern that kind of came up, and I get that pull every other year, and I missed it last year. So going back this year, it did feel like that fresh pull. But
if you went last year and went to this year's, is this one different enough to be worth going?
Yeah, I did,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, absolutely. I went to both, and there are definitely things to appreciate, and the Ghost Bride was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Watching that back in the video was cool.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, this is my first Halloween party, but it's not my first after hours event. So I can't compare this Halloween party to another Halloween party. But what I will say is, was it worth the $90? Absolutely. Did it meet my expectations? Not so much, because I was going off of what I experienced in previous after hours parties. This felt a lot more like a general admission park day, but you had to buy the extra ticket to attend to experience all this extra stuff, because the crowds were way higher than I had anticipated. Definitely.
So a lot of people say don't go to the park that day. Don't use your park ticket on your multi-day ticket and go to the party instead. Is that worth it?
Oh,
see,
that's
what I would do with. That's what I'm thinking about doing for my mom. Is that we're just gonna say, like, she doesn't need to go to all of them all the time. We've gone on. So she'll be like, oh yeah, well let's go to this one day, and I'll be like, okay, well let's do the Halloween party then, and that way we'll go in the afternoon and we'll stay there. I do have a complaint, and I said it in the video though, is that the Disney Parks blog and everything advertised all this merchandise that I can show you a photo of here. and you could only get the Mickey Halloween popcorn bucket there on the left, the balloon, and then the Hitchhiking Ghost. You couldn't get Jack or Oogie Boogie yet, and they're coming in September. But then I read online that everybody who goes in October, they can't get it in October because it's sold out. So you really have to hit that sweet spot of when you want to go to get this merchandise. So as being the people who go in August, it feels like you're kind of shafted on some of the experiences because they're not ready to release it for the party yet, but you've started having your party.
That's because it's August.
And well, see, here, I'm a firm believer, if you're going to celebrate Christmas in July, I'm going to start celebrating Halloween
Don't do
right
that
after.
either.
See,
Well, I don't think it's a matter of, first of all, being in August and how hot it is, it seems silly anyway. But if you're promised that you're going to go to the same event the people in
Right.
September and
Yeah.
October are going to, you should get the same
Well,
things.
if anything, I should because you were first at the first party, it should be there. Like I feel like this is now a repeated occurrence because this happened for the Villains After Hours. They ended up adding that ornament later, and something else we went to too, and they started giving this stuff out later. And I'm like, why are they doing this? Why? I feel like now I don't want to jump on anything anymore.
And you'd think that they would, if it's like an issue of, we don't want to make too many that we're then going to have extras. You got these popcorn buckets for them to make are probably 50 cents or something.
and then
Like,
you sell them at Cast Connection or you,
Yeah,
or you
right.
dump them in the outlets or something. They're not worried about losing money, that's for sure.
I just want to say in terms of the crowds, because it was mentioned it was busy, I spent pretty much only my entire time in the hub and Town Square a little bit. I can say that compared to last year's, for me, the amount of people in that area did not feel as bad as it did last year. Last year felt significantly
Do you
worse.
think the weather had something to do with it for you too?
The weather was a little bit more helpful, but just in general, the crowds weren't that bad. I know the second parade was worse than the first because they put out, there was a chance that it was going to rain, and it did rain for a second before the first parade, but then they also put out an announcement saying, wait for the second parade, it's going to be less crowds. And then I think there was actually
They said that in
more
the
crowds.
park?
It was
Yeah.
it was an update that went out on my
Oh my
Disney
goodness.
experience.
What the-
And so I mean that happened, but
That's like, there's this great secret place where you should go.
Everybody go.
Here's what we'll do to tell people it's less crowded. We'll tell everyone to go to the same show, and then that'll be less crowded.
so I didn't feel the crowds, but I felt the entitlement of everyone that was there, and that was the problem. Is that is when we talk about that on a normal basis with any guests, it is hitting that point where everyone thinks they're entitled to having the peak amount of Disney magic, and that was on full force at the Halloween party. Crowd's not bad, but when you have a lot of people who are Veruca Salts and I want it now and such, it gets out of hand. But yeah. So,
Excellent reference.
thank you. I got there. So that's kind of our thoughts with the new editions of the Halloween party. I expect you to go and check it out if you haven't. I bought the party pass, and so which is new this year, $300, and you get
35 out of 36.
Yes, the only night you don't get is Halloween, and
Is that the
so-
only night that sold out before the party started?
No, the Halloween's still not sold out.
Oh, interesting.
There's no
Okay.
sold out nights. It's just
Interesting.
they know that one's going to sell out.
Yeah.
It always sells out every year, so it makes sense to leave it out. I wasn't going to go there on Halloween night anyways, but I'm excited to see how that goes. And
So $300 for every night of the party that doesn't include Halloween.
It's like 35
Right.
nights, yeah.
Are you going to go every night?
I mean, obviously not every night because I'm going to miss this weekend when we're out in the expo, and usually Tuesday nights I record with Michael. So I'm going to go on. I'm probably, my goal is to hit at least like 10 nights.
Let's say if you get, 4, you've made...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to
Money
say
for it.
after the first 3, because they're like $100 each, you've made it
Yeah.
there, and it's interesting too because I feel like it alleviates that stress of having to be like, well, this night I'm doing fireworks. This night I'm going to watch Hocus Pocus. This night I'm going to watch the parade, and then I'll just trick or treat the other night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it takes that stress off for you, but.
And I'll let you know what I think about that after Halloween season's over. But we've got to go. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you all for listening and watching. Rhino, please cue up that music. And we will see you again, hopefully, next week with another episode of the Diz Unplugged. But
Oh, wait.
Play that funky
I
music.
realized the
Play that.
mistake. I muted it before.
Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't. It's my computer again.
Everyone having a good day?
I'll hum the song.
Sorry, Craig, I ruined your beautiful
So long.
transition.
Okay, well,
Farewell.
before we go then, Kevin, when is Downton Abbey coming out in
I'm not
theaters
sure.
again? This is going on so
over it
long, he's already lost it.
September 20th.
September 20th. So,
Thank you. If I have to talk about Star Wars every week,
so text Dreams 20 to 44321 to donate to Give Kids the World. Go see Downton Abbey in theaters September 20th.
I'll be there.
2019, and we'll see you again next week with another episode of The Diz Unplugged. Have a great week, everyone.